In the Native American culture, when a young man he goes through puberty and is leaving childhood and going into adulthood, this is a very important time in a young man's life, and they have a lot of rituals and rites and ceremonies that are surrounding this event and this transition. One of those is a vision quest. The young man is required to go out into the forest for several nights alone, seeking his spirit animal, and this is also a test of courage. Well, one such young man was approaching the time for his vision quest, and he was very much afraid and very much confused, and so he went to the shaman of the tribe and said, "Shaman, there's a battle going on inside of me. There's a part of me that is so anxious and so eager and so excited about finally becoming a man and joining the hunters. And this is like a white dog who is so eager and ears are up, and he is totally full of optimism and no worry at all. And then there's another dog, a black dog, and he slithers on his belly and he snarls at the white dog and says, 'No, you could die on your vision quest. It's okay to stay a child. This isn't worth it. And I'm so afraid, shaman, that the black dog will win and I will shame myself and my tribe.' And the shaman looks gently at the young man and says, 'No, my son, the white dog will win.' And the shaman and the little boy says, 'How do you know?' And he said, 'Because that is the one you will feed.' Now, I love this because we all have this battle going on within us as well, don't we? We have the faith side of ourselves that understands that we live in an abundant universe that is full of infinite possibilities, and that we each have endless potential. And the white dog side of us knows this. But the black dog side of us says, 'No, you're not smart enough, you're not thin enough, you're not pretty enough, you don't have the education, you're too old, you're too young.' That holds us back. That is fear. Now, fear serves us, don't get me wrong. When we lived in a land of saber-toothed tigers, fear was a very good thing. It helped keep us alive. But now our brains perceive any kind of change as a fearful event and say, it tries to pull us back, this human part of us. So, we know that we want and we yearn for and we deserve a big, big love, for example. But so many of us are afraid, so we settle for lukewarm relationships. We settle for abusive relationships because we're afraid that this may be the best that there is. We don't tap into the faith side of ourselves that knows the perfect person for us is out there. The same with our bodies. We know in the faith side of us that we're supposed to move through the world with ease and with grace and in bodies that feel good to us and that are healthy and strong and vibrant and the way we want them to be. But the other part of us says, not with your gene pool. This runs in your family. It's too hard. Oh, that's just what happens when you get older. The black dog side of yourself doesn't want you to try to strive for something that's better in the area of your health. Or your money and your time and your work. We're supposed to create in an awesome way and have abundance and have plenty of time to spend the money that we have and someone that we adore to spend it with. But instead we say, oh, that's for other people, that's not for me. That I don't know how. I don't have the skill set. I don't have the education. Now this battle goes on within us all the time. And so how do we feed our faith in our modern world and starve our fears? If you will picture a cross or a T, if you will. This vertical line represents the infinite part of you, the part that was never born and never died, that goes on forever, that the life force that beats your heart, the infinite, whatever you want to call it, this is the part that goes forever. And then this represents your human life. It has a beginning, it has an end. So the spiritual being having a human experience fits within this finite period with a beginning and with an end, 80, 90, 100 years if we're well. At the intersection of that is your heart. This is what we call the sacred here and now. In this moment is where your power is to create. This is where you get to decide how the rest of your life is going to unfold by feeding your faith and starving your fear or feeding your fear. So now how do we do that? In the way that we feed our fear is we complain. We talk about and chat up and get in chat rooms and really talk about our problems and our aches and our pains and say, oh, woe is me. And we complain about our spouse. We complain about our girlfriend. We blame our boss for our happiness or lack thereof. Or we can take an inventory of all the amazing things that are going on in our lives. We can look at this person that we married 20 years ago and remember all the awesome things about them that made us fall in love with them in the first place, and call all of those wonderful positive things to the forefront. And what happens, what has to happen, what is the law, is that more of those kinds of things are attracted to us in this spiral universe. And every moment that comes along, we get to choose again. And when we catch ourselves doing something that is feeding our fear, if we're allowing our fear to keep us from doing the things that we want to do, we can always make a new choice in every moment. And we get to decide, will you feed your faith? Will you starve your fear? You decide. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you, Ron. If you could, please take a moment and write down your glows and grows. That would be greatly appreciated.
Be sure to say if I slowed down, Jim.